Hey there, my name is Salim Malhotra, Principal Attorney at Drishti Law. Today we're going to talk about the ways an owner can lose the rights associated with a trademark registration. A trademark can potentially be owned in perpetuity, but the lack of a proper brand management, use, and legal guardrails can lead to the loss of a trademark. There are 4 common ways that you can lose the rights associated with a trademark. Number 1 is abandonment. Abandonment only occurs when a trademark owner discontinues the use and displays no intent to resume the use of a trademark. A discontinued use for 3 years is evidence on its face of abandonment. The discontinuance requires a complete halt in the use, and even a single good faith use or receipt of royalties is enough to defend a claim of abandonment. And most importantly, the tolerance of third-party use can also result in abandonment. This is why a trademark watch or monitoring service is a logical expense for most brands, because it is the only way to know, aside from setting up Google alerts, that your brand is not being appropriated by another company. It is immensely important to continue to monitor your trademarks post-registration. The second way you can lose your trademark rights is genericide. A trademark is deemed to be generic when the primary significance of the mark to the consumer is the name of a type of good or service and not its source identifier. Now just remember, a generic mark can never receive trademark rights. For example, aspirin, declared generic in the US, but is associated as a common term for a good that provides you pain relief. Dry ice used to be a trademark term, but no longer is. Flip phone, originally trademarked by Motorola, now just means a flip phone. You might be thinking, what about Google? Everybody uses it synonymously with the term search, more often than not as a verb or term of action. But it does not necessarily mean the mark is now generic. In fact, in a case from 2017, the courts decided that the use of Google mark as a verb did not automatically constitute generic use. Even if the majority of the public use the mark as a verb in a generic and indiscriminate sense to refer to the act of searching, there was not sufficient evidence that the public used the mark as a generic name for internet search engines. The third way you can lose the rights associated with a trademark, naked licensing. When a licensor licenses a mark without enforcing sufficient quality control over the goods and/or services provided under the mark, it has deemed that there has been a naked license. The reason behind the logic of naked licensing is that when the original owner of the trademark does not enforce the same level of quality control over the goods and/or services, the mark no longer represents the level of quality that the consumers have come to associate or expect from the mark. To demonstrate sufficient quality control over the licensee, the licensor must retain contractual rights over the use of its trademarks. Number 2, the licensor must actually control the quality of the use of its trademarks. Number 3, the licensor must have reasonably relied on the licensee to maintain that quality. The 4th way you can lose your trademark rights are the assignment in gross. A trademark owner cannot assign its mark to another party without the mark's associated goodwill. Goodwill associated with the marks is the willingness of a consumer to continue purchasing the good and/or service because of their association with the mark used by the assignee. For example, if a trademark owner sells their entire business, its trademarks and associated goodwill are assumed to have been sold unless there's a statement by the seller that states otherwise. You can avoid errors that can lead to future loss of your trademark rights by hiring a trademark attorney who understands the proper brand management and enforcement procedures. If you need assistance on any of the issues mentioned in the video or any other related trademark issues, please feel free to click on the booking link provided below or call my office. As always, this is Salim Malhotra. Thank you for watching.